What if I told you there's something invisible that's been blocking all your growth? Not just in your career or relationships, but in every area of your life. A hidden force that's kept you stuck in the same patterns, facing the same challenges, no matter how hard you try to move forward. Have you ever felt like something deeper is holding you back, even when you're doing everything right? Today, I'm going to share a secret that's been kept from most people, not because it's dangerous, but because it's powerful. A technique used for centuries by the world's most influential spiritual leaders, and now validated by cutting-edge neuroscience. A method that can instantly shift your entire vibrational field, reprogramming your mind and aligning your energy with the frequency of abundance, clarity, and purpose. This practice is so effective that for decades it was dismissed, ridiculed, and quietly hidden from public awareness, because when people access their true vibrational power, they become impossible to control. And in today's video, you're not just going to hear about it, you're going to learn how to use it. In this video, we'll unveil the band technique that Jacobo Grinberg studied in depth, a method with the power to transform not only what you feel, but the reality you experience. Prepare for a journey of awakening and vibrational expansion. Jacobo Grinberg was not just a scientist. He was one of the greatest explorers of the human mind the world has ever known. Trained in psychology and neurophysiology, he devoted decades to researching consciousness, perception, and non-ordinary realities. Yet, unlike traditional scientists, Grinberg dared to cross boundaries. He immersed himself fearlessly in ancestral knowledge, shamanic traditions, altered states of consciousness, and the invisible forces that shape our world. His most revolutionary theory was the neuronal field, an invisible matrix connecting our perception to the fabric of the universe. According to Grinberg, external reality is not something fixed or separate from us, but a direct projection of our mental and vibrational patterns. In other words, when you change your inner vibration, you change the reality you live in, and Grinberg knows that. Jacobo Grinberg was not just a scientist. He was an architect of consciousness, a builder of bridges between worlds that conventional thinking kept rigidly separate. While his peers studied the brain as if it were a computer processing external data, Grinberg saw something far more revolutionary: the mind as a projector, constantly casting reality onto the screen of experience. His concept of the neuronal field wasn't merely theoretical speculation. It was a recognition that consciousness operates like a vast, invisible web, a matrix where thought, emotion, and perception converge to literally construct what we call the world. This field doesn't exist in physical space as we understand it. It exists in the liminal realm, where mind meets matter, where the subjective becomes objective through the sheer force of coherent attention. Consider this. Right now, as you read these words, your brain is filtering through millions of sensory inputs, selecting only a fraction to bring into conscious awareness. This isn't passive reception, it's active curation. Your nervous system is constantly making editorial decisions about what version of reality to present to your conscious mind. And these decisions aren't neutral. They're deeply influenced by your emotional state, your beliefs, your fears, and most importantly, your vibrational frequency. Grinberg understood that what we call objective reality is actually a collaborative hallucination, shaped by the collective patterns of consciousness observing it. At the individual level, your personal reality becomes a perfect mirror of your internal landscape. Not metaphorically, but literally. The world you perceive is filtered through neural networks that have been carved by years of emotional patterns, limiting beliefs, and unconscious assumptions. Your consciousness is a tuning fork. Strike it with fear, and it begins to resonate at the frequency of threat, scarcity, and separation. Suddenly, your perceptual apparatus starts highlighting dangers, obstacles, and reasons to remain small. Strike it with love, gratitude, or trust, and it resonates at an entirely different frequency. one that reveals opportunities, connections, and pathways that were invisible just moments before. This is why two people can walk through the exact same environment and inhabit completely different worlds. One sees a threatening urban landscape filled with strangers and obstacles. The other sees a vibrant community brimming with potential connections and adventures. Same photons hitting the retina, same sound waves entering the ears. Completely different realities constructed by completely different internal frequencies. The implications are staggering. If your reality is indeed a reflection of your internal patterns, then you're not merely a victim of circumstances. You're an unconscious co-creator of the very conditions you experience. Every emotional state, every recurring thought pattern, every limiting belief becomes a template that your perceptual system uses to construct tomorrow's experience. But here's where Grinberg's insight becomes truly liberating. If you can shift your internal vibration, you can literally shift the reality you inhabit, not through wishful thinking or positive affirmations alone, but through deep, embodied transformation of your fundamental frequency. When you change the resonance of your consciousness, you change the lens through which reality appears. And when the lens changes, what you see and what sees you transforms completely. This is the secret that has been kept from most people. You are not observing reality, you are broadcasting it. Your entire being is as a sophisticated broadcasting station, continuously transmitting a complex signal into the fabric of existence. But unlike radio waves that carry sound, your signal carries something far more powerful: the electromagnetic signature of your consciousness. Every thought generates its own frequency. Every emotion creates its own field. Every belief system resonates at its own vibrational rate. And reality, that vast responsive field we navigate daily, isn't listening to your words or analyzing your intentions. It's calibrated to your coherent frequency. This is where modern neuroscience and ancient wisdom converge in remarkable ways. We now know that emotions aren't merely psychological states, they're electromagnetic events. When you feel gratitude, your heart generates a measurably different electromagnetic field than when you feel resentment. When you embody confidence, your nervous system broadcasts a distinct pattern than when you operate from fear. These aren't abstract concepts. They're measurable, reproducible phenomena that influence both your physiology and your environment in ways science is only beginning to understand. Your mind might declare, "I am abundant," but if your nervous system is flooded with stress hormones from financial anxiety, your true broadcast is scarcity. The field responds not to what you think you're projecting, but to what you're actually embodying. This is why affirmations alone often fail. They address the surface layer of consciousness, while the deeper frequencies remain unchanged. Think of it this way. Your mind is like a conductor standing before an orchestra. Your thoughts are the sheet music, but your emotional state determines how that music actually sounds when played. Fear turns even the most beautiful composition into discord. Love transforms even simple melodies into symphonies. And reality dances to whatever music you're actually playing, not the song you intended to perform. Quantum mechanics has shown us that the observer influences the observed, that particles behave differently under conscious observation. But what kind of consciousness? Not passive awareness, but emotionally charged, vibrationally coherent attention. The universe responds to your full energetic signature, the alignment between what you think, what you feel, what you believe, and what you embody in each moment. This creates a feedback loop of extraordinary power. Your internal frequency shapes your perception, which influences your choices, which generates experiences that reinforce your original frequency. If you're broadcasting fear, you'll perceive threats everywhere, make defensive choices, and create experiences that confirm the dangerous nature of reality. If you're broadcasting trust, you'll notice opportunities, make expansive choices, and generate experiences that confirm the supportive nature of existence. The beautiful truth is this: reality isn't resistant to your desires, it's responsive to your vibration.
It's not holding out on you, it's reflecting you. The world isn't conspiring against your happiness, it's amplifying whatever frequency you're consistently broadcasting. But here's the crucial insight that changes everything. You can consciously choose your frequency. You're not condemned to broadcast whatever emotional patterns were programmed into you by childhood, trauma, or circumstance. Through specific practices, you can retune your internal radio station, shifting from frequencies of limitation to frequencies of expansion, from patterns of separation to patterns of connection, from vibrations of scarcity to vibrations of abundance. The key lies not in trying to think your way into a new frequency, but in feeling your way into a new vibrational state. Because the body doesn't lie the way the mind can. When you generate authentic gratitude, peace, or joy in your physical system, you're literally changing the electromagnetic field you're broadcasting into the world. And the world, like a massive tuning fork, begins to resonate in harmony with your new frequency.
The technique itself is elegantly simple, yet profoundly sophisticated in its neurological precision. It operates on the principle that coherence, the alignment of thought, emotion, and physiology, creates the most powerful vibrational commands to the field of reality. Think of it as learning to speak the native language of consciousness, where meaning is conveyed not through words alone, but through the resonant unity of your entire being. The foundation rests on 3 pillars working in perfect synchronization: affirmative word, felt emotion, and conscious breath. This isn't a random combination. It's a precise formula based on how the nervous system processes and embeds new information. Each element serves a specific neurological function, and when combined, they create a vibrational coherence that penetrates the deepest layers of your psyche. The word serves as the cognitive anchor, a clear, specific declaration that gives your subconscious mind a new template to work with. But words alone are powerless because the subconscious doesn't think in language. It thinks in images, sensations, and emotional charges. This is why you can repeat affirmations for years without seeing change. You're speaking a foreign language to the part of your mind that actually shapes your reality. The emotion is what transforms empty words into living commands. When you don't just say, "I am abundant," but actually feel the sensations of abundance in your body, the relaxation, the gratitude, the expansive sense of possibility, you're literally teaching your nervous system what abundance feels like from the inside. This isn't imagination, it's embodied preparation. You're training your system to recognize and attract experiences that match this internal frequency. But even coherent thoughts and emotions need a delivery system to penetrate the subconscious programming. This is where conscious breath becomes crucial. Breath is the bridge between conscious and unconscious, voluntary and involuntary, mind and body. When you breathe with intention while holding both word and feeling, you're creating a neurological pathway that carries your new vibrational pattern directly into the autonomic nervous system, the part of you that runs automatically, below conscious awareness. The breath calms the nervous system, moving it out of survival mode and into a state of receptivity. It oxygenates the brain, enhancing neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new neural pathways. Most importantly, it creates a physiological coherence that makes your affirmation not just a mental exercise, but a full body experience. When you breathe deeply while feeling gratitude and speaking affirmatively, your heart rate variability shifts, your brain waves change, and your electromagnetic field reorganizes itself around this new frequency. This creates what neuroscientists call state-dependent learning. Information encoded during specific physiological states becomes most accessible when you return to those same states. By practicing in this coherent state, you're not just hoping for change, you're installing new software into the operating system of your consciousness.
The technique becomes a form of vibrational architecture. You're not trying to convince your mind of something new. You're building new neural real estate, creating fresh pathways that naturally lead to fresh perceptions, fresh choices, and fresh experiences. Each repetition strengthens the neural network associated with your new frequency, making it easier to access and more likely to become your default mode of being. But timing matters enormously. There's a specific window when this installation process becomes exponentially more powerful, when the conscious mind's defenses are down and the subconscious becomes maximally receptive. Understanding this timing transforms a good technique into a reality-shifting practice.
Before I reveal the exact moment when this technique becomes most powerful, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like your energy, not your actions, attracted or repelled unexpected outcomes in your life? Share your experience in the comments. And if this message resonates with you, send it to someone who needs to shift their vibration too. This isn't just a video, it's a portal. And portals open when we step through them together.
There exists a threshold moment, delicate and brief, when consciousness hovers between waking and sleep, a neurological twilight where the boundaries between possible and actual become fluid. This is the hypnagogic state, and it represents one of the most powerful windows for vibrational reprogramming that exists in human experience. It's not merely a transition, it's a portal where the architecture of your reality becomes malleable, responsive, and remarkably susceptible to conscious redesign. During this liminal phase, your brain undergoes a fascinating transformation. The beta waves of analytical thinking begin to dissolve, replaced by the softer alpha and theta frequencies associated with creativity, intuition, and deep learning. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for critical analysis and reality testing, gradually releases its grip on experience. Meanwhile, your subconscious mind, usually hidden beneath layers of conscious chatter, rises to the surface like mist from still water. This neurological shift creates what researchers call enhanced suggestibility, not in the sense of being gullible, but in the sense of being optimally receptive to new information. The same critical faculties that normally reject or rationalize away new possibilities become quiet, allowing fresh patterns to sink into the deeper layers of your psyche without resistance. It's as if the bouncer of your conscious mind takes a break, allowing new experiences to enter the nightclub of your subconscious. From a neuroplasticity perspective, this state is golden. Your brain's ability to form new neural connections is heightened during these twilight moments. The glial cells that support and maintain your neural networks are most active during the transition between waking and sleep, essentially preparing your brain for the deep maintenance work that occurs during rest. When you introduce new vibrational patterns during this window, you're working with these natural neurological processes rather than against them. But the power of the hypnagogic state goes beyond neuroscience, into the realm of what Grinberg called field coherence. In this liminal space, your personal field becomes less defined, less rigid in its patterns. It's as if the walls of your energetic container become more permeable, allowing your focused intention to penetrate deeper layers of the reality-generating mechanism. The affirmations you speak here don't just echo in your mind, they reverberate through the fabric of your existence. Think of it as the difference between writing on a hard surface versus writing on wet clay. During normal waking consciousness, your attempts at change often feel like carving against stone. But in the hypnagogic state, your consciousness becomes clay-like, moldable, ready to receive and hold new impressions. The same effort that produces minimal results during the day can create profound, lasting transformation when applied during these precious threshold moments. This is why spiritual traditions throughout history have emphasized practices during dawn and dusk,
In the moments of transition, they understood intuitively what neuroscience now confirms. Consciousness is most programmable when it's neither fully awake nor fully asleep, but suspended in that magical space between states.
The technique becomes exponentially more powerful when practiced here. Your affirmative words fall into soil that's been perfectly prepared to receive them. Your emotional states imprint themselves into neural networks that are maximally plastic. Your conscious breathing carries these new patterns into the autonomic systems that will run automatically throughout your next day of experience. You're not just practicing a mindset shift, you're planting seeds in the garden of tomorrow's reality. And like any skilled gardener, you're choosing the optimal conditions for planting, ensuring that what you sow has the greatest chance of taking root and flourishing. Transformation is never a single moment of insight. It's a rhythm, a daily practice of returning again and again to your chosen frequency until it becomes not what you do, but who you are. Just as a musician tunes their instrument before each performance, you must consciously calibrate your vibrational field not once, but as a living discipline. Because the noise of collective consciousness is constant, and without intentional practices, even the most profound shifts can dissolve back into the static of unconscious living. These 5 daily rituals aren't merely habits, they're vibrational anchors that keep you tethered to your new frequency, even when the storms of circumstance attempt to pull you back into old patterns. Evening practice, seeding tomorrow's reality. Each night, as you enter the hypnagogic threshold, practice the vibrational technique with the reverence of a gardener planting precious seeds. This isn't just preparation for sleep, it's architectural work on tomorrow's experience. You're literally programming the subconscious patterns that will filter and shape everything you encounter in the coming day. The word you speak, the emotion you embody, the breath you take, all become blueprints that your deeper mind will use to construct your next chapter of reality. Morning calibration, choosing your broadcast. Before the world has a chance to impose its frequency upon you, before you check your phone or engage with external demands, take a moment to consciously choose your vibrational signature for the day. This isn't positive thinking, it's frequency selection. You're tuning your internal radio station before the cacophony of daily life begins. What you choose in this moment becomes the baseline frequency from which you'll navigate every interaction, every challenge, every opportunity. Embodied alignment, living your truth. Throughout your day, catch yourself in small moments and ask, am I living as if my affirmation is true? If you're cultivating abundance, do your choices reflect abundance? If you're developing trust, are you making decisions from trust rather than fear? This isn't about perfection. It's about increasing the coherence between your stated vibration and your lived experience. Every aligned action strengthens the neural pathway of your new identity. Elevated moments, feeding your frequency. Consciously inject beauty, wonder, and joy into your daily rhythm. Music that moves you, moments of stillness, connection with nature, genuine laughter. These aren't luxuries, they're vibrational nutrients. They lift your frequency above the baseline of survival consciousness and into the ranges where creativity, love, and possibility naturally emerge. Think of them as tuning forks that keep your system calibrated to higher octaves of experience. Sacred release, trusting the field. Perhaps most importantly, practice letting go of your attachment to controlling exactly how your transformation unfolds. Trust the field to respond to your consistent vibrational broadcasting. Release the need to micromanage the universe's delivery system. When you try to force specific outcomes, you often introduce the very tension and resistance that blocks their manifestation. Your job is to maintain the frequency. Reality's job is to deliver the experiences that match it. As James Clear profoundly observed, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. These rituals are your vibrational system, the infrastructure that makes transformation inevitable rather than accidental. They create a rhythm, and rhythm becomes identity, and identity becomes the lens through which reality appears.
This is why Jacobo Grinberg's revolutionary insight remains so powerful. Reality is a reflection of the internal patterns of our mind. Those patterns aren't created in moments of crisis or inspiration alone. They're woven through the small, repeated choices you make when no one is watching, when there's no external pressure, when you simply choose to honor the frequency you've committed to embody. To shift your reality permanently, you don't need to force the mirror to change its reflection. You need to become the reflection you want to see so consistently and authentically that reality has no choice but to reorganize itself around your new vibrational truth. This is the path from hoping for change to being the change, from trying to attract a different life to embodying a different frequency of existence itself. Your vibrational reprogramming is not about fixing your life. It's about releasing the interference that distorts the signal you're already emitting. Because the truth is, you've always been broadcasting. Every thought, every emotion, every silence sends a message, not to others, to the field. Reality is not a static screen waiting to be rewritten. It's a responsive mirror shaped by the energy you bring to it. And this mirror isn't fooled by forced positivity. It doesn't bend to what you say out loud. It bends to what you embody in stillness. When you understand this, effort gives way to elegance. You stop pushing and start tuning. You stop begging for change and start broadcasting coherence. This isn't spiritual fantasy. It's vibrational architecture. And the blueprint isn't hidden in a temple or a book. It's revealed in your daily rituals, in the quiet moments between breath and belief. So, no, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And when you finally vibrate in alignment with what's true, the world, like a mirror covered in fog, begins to clear. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You stopped projecting your prison and began to vibrate your liberation. If you've made it this far, it's because this message found you at the right time. Take a moment to honor that. Don't let this insight dissolve into the background noise of your day. Instead, keep going deeper. Watch our latest video, Being Smart Can Destroy Your Life, to explore how even intelligence can become a hidden trap that limits your potential and disconnects you from your most authentic path. It's all part of the same journey, moving from control to alignment, from intellect to wisdom, from fear to frequency. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider joining our community. Every video is a step on the path, and you don't have to walk it alone. Until next time, take care of your mind, your soul, and your truth. You're not alone on this path. Not anymore.